Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri meeting for March 26, 2024 is hereby called to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
Commissioner Smith? Present. Commissioner Contreras?
Here.
Commissioner Garentz?
Here.
President Hayden?
Here.
Director Cotton?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor is absent today.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the March 19, 2024 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Second item on the agenda is resolution number 32455, considering board approval of the Starlight Theater Association of Kansas City Incorporated Concert Presentations Agreement with Levy Premium Food Service Limited Partnership. Lindsay, are you talking about this, or Chris, or Dr. Cotton, is he?
Spiel and then
Oh, sorry, I'm stealing your thunder. All right, Dr.
All right.
Cotton.
All right. Yes, as mentioned in the memo, Starlight's agreement with their previous concessions provider came to an end in 2023. Starlight would like to enter into an operations contract with a new provider, Levy Premium Food Service. Starlight Theater Association does a wonderful job of running the Starlight facility, and staff have no concerns with their decision to make a change in concessions provider. Lindsay Rod Clifford, Starlight Director, is here to answer any questions.
No questions. Feel satisfied with the time that we had with the Starlight team previously and the zoo team. So none from me, President.
Thank you. Yeah, we had some delicious food over there a couple weeks ago. So. All right. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's passed. Thanks, Lizzie. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32456, considering board approval of a resolution for the Swope Park Pool Project scope. Director Cotton.
Yes, thank you. After lengthy discussion on new outdoor aquatics improvements that should take place in Swope Park, the Park Board and 5th District Council members have agreed on the renovation and reconstruction of aquatic improvements on the existing Swope pool site. Staff recommends the board approve allocation of GO bond funding for this location to study the floodplain, the impacts and requirements to renovate and rebuild on this location, and if deemed financially viable, construct, operate, maintain, and market this facility for successful operations.
Director Cotton, I just want to confirm, we'll have the opportunity to review after the floodplain
Absolutely.
review and all of that and decide.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on this one?
No, I'll just echo that, because in your statement, you talked about on its current site that there was agreement, and I think my understanding is there's agreement to move forward with learning more.
Correct.
And then this body will come back, so, yes.
Correct.
That's it. That's what I heard.
Good. All right, may I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32457, considering board approval of amendment number 4 to the ground lease with Children's Mercy Hospital to extend the contract time to December 31st, 2024. Director Cotton.
Yes, thank you. As you may be aware, we have been in talks with Children's Mercy for several months about their interest in utilizing and improving a gravel lot located on Park's property next to Hospital Hill Park. These improvements would develop the location into a fully functional parking lot with curbing, parking lot striping that is to code, and a proper drainage plan. Both parties continue to work towards an agreement that is beneficially mutual for Children's Mercy and the Parks Department. Negotiations are ongoing and consensus has not been reached at this time. Staff would like to extend till the end of the year in order for successful negotiations to occur.
Any comments to this item? All right, may I have a motion to approve?
Motion 32457 to approve.
Yes, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32458, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Elmwood Cemetery Society in the amount of $70,000. Director Cotton.
Yes, thank you. The city has been aiding the Elmwood Cemetery for several years in regards to their ability to mow the facility and keep the grounds in a respectable manner. As you may be aware, Elmwood was designed by Kessler, the father of the Kansas City Parks and Recreation System. The funds for mowing this facility do not come from the dedicated park sales tax, but from the city's general fund as a pass-through. At this time, staff requests approval of this agreement.
So this 70,000 is already in this, or is given to this entity through Parks and Rec? When you say a pass-through?
Right, it's from the general fund. This contract was originally negotiated with the city's manager's office in Elmwood, and they passed it off on us to maintain and handle.
Right, I'm talking about where the funds come from.
It comes from, yes, ma'am, it comes from our budget, from the general fund, money that's allocated to non-park property mowing.
Okay, so when, I was just curious about when you said pass-through. It made it, for me, that sounded like somebody is giving us the money, or giving them the money and just sending it through us. You're saying it's coming out of our general fund?
It's coming out of the general fund, yes, ma'am, not the park sales tax.
Right, okay.
Motion to pass.
I have another question. Is this the same, before this iteration of the board, last year, there was a cemetery group that came through and asked for funds. Is this the same?
There are two cemetery groups that we deal with. This is one of them. The other one is Union Hill Cemetery. So there are two cemetery groups.
So last year, was that request through Union Hill or through this?
This group came last year, and Union Hill came for another project. So yes, ma'am, both of them have come to us for funding. This one, yes, ma'am, this one did come before you last year as well.
So this is an annual
Yes, ma'am.
request?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So this is not out of sync?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I second. There was a motion already.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32459, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreement with the whole person for the use of Mary Williams Neal Community Center for adult bocce ball. Jennifer Jett is here to speak about this item.
Thank you. So this is an agreement that we've got with the whole person for Mary Williams Neal. They've done adult bocce ball and various other sports at our other community centers, so this is just a facility use agreement without concessions. Runs from May 14th to December 10th, and we anticipate that we will collect $1,950 for that rental.
Thank you. Any questions on this one?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32460, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with Guadalupe Centers Incorporated for the use of Tony Aguirre Community Center to host youth basketball. Ms. Jett?
Thank you. So this is an agreement with Guadalupe for May 4th and May 5th. They're running a youth basketball tournament that will run for the full day at that location, and we anticipate we will collect $1,350 for this facility use with concessions.
Awesome.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32461, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with KC Softball Club for the use of Penn Valley Park Diamond Number 1 for adult softball. Ms. Jett?
Thank you. So this is similar to our other athletics contracts at Penn Valley, and we coordinate with them on the schedule. So they're all playing various fields, various days. For KC softball, they are practicing on Mondays, and we anticipate that we will collect about $4,500. There's a 40% revenue share and $30 per hour for the time that the lights are on.
Great.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Jett. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32462, considering board approval of amendment number 1 with Shawnee Mission Tree Services, doing business as Arbor Masters Tree and Landscape for EAB ash treatment services in the amount of $175,000, and extending the contract time to May 31st, 2025. Stephen Van Ryn, Natural Resources Manager, is here to speak on this item.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Yes, this is a continuation of our efforts to limit the death of ash trees due to emerald ash borer, extending out the kind of flattening the curve. We all kind of learned that term during COVID, but it actually really applies well to the trees. And then it allows us to kind of transition more slowly through these areas without having kind of a stark removal of a lot of trees all at one time. So, do you have any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item's passed. Thank you. Next items on the agenda are resolutions number 32463 through number 32474, considering board approval of bid awards of ground maintenance services on right-of-ways. Jerome Spears is here to provide further information.
All right, currently we have 45 contracts that we put out for bid this year. All of them pretty much have been awarded at this point. All will be turned in next at the end of this season to go back in and rebidded, with the exception of Broadway.
How are the amounts like for each particular one determined? I mean, they put in a bid?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on this one?
I had a similar question since the prices are different. Same work?
Similar, but not all the same. Depending on the area, the project area that you had to cover, that's why the prices range in different spots. So that's why you see it different in the prices.
This is low as $41.78 an acre and as high as $102?
Yes, ma'am.
And that just depends on like the complexity or how hard it is to get to the location or things like that?
A lot of things range in factor from
Okay.
terrain, location, the amount of trash that they actually got to service in some of those areas. Because some areas you tend to have a lot of trash and stuff to pick up before you actually could go in there and mow. So every challenge that they look at, the contractor goes out either on a ride along or they with us to accompany us, or some of them have already bidded that location before, and they know the challenges that they have to face. So most of these people who bidding on these projects, they already been there before.
Thank you.
And you said they're already in motion?
Well, we're waiting. I think they're ready to go right now. I think they
Gotcha.
had their insurance bonds. They turned all that stuff in. So with everything being turned in, we'll be ready to go whenever we start more.
Awesome. Well,
Great, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. All right. Next items on the agenda are resolutions number 32475. Not off the hook yet.
My bad. I'm
Just
new
in
to
case
this.
you're not aware, you up here for the next.
I'm looking at this.
32489, considering board approval of bid awards for grounds maintenance services for the parks this time. So I don't know, Mr. Spears, you have anything separate for these or same?
Pretty
as-
much same
yeah.
circumstances, so there's no deviation in circumstances. So, again, we're looking at terrain, we're looking at area, we're looking at litter. I mean, there's a lot of things that come into consideration when we do bid these contracts.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda are resolutions number 32490 through 32502, considering board approval of bid awards for ground maintenance services for boulevards and parkways. Mr. Spears, you got anything else on this one?
Not too much to add on there. I mean, the only thing that we see is more additional trees. So if you notice, a lot of plantings have occurred over the last year or so. So a lot of those prices that you see might deviate because we got to work around those trees and those different landscape beds that have been put in.
Only note I'll mention is that $302.67 per acre.
Let me go to it real quick.
That's the Broadway,
Yeah, that's-
the,
Litter removal?
it's the only one to
Yeah.
Millgoal.
Yes, ma'am. Like, again, some of those areas that are real large, you have a lot of trash that's thrown out there, and that kind of takes a lot of their time going back and forth out there to make sure that's straight. So some of those cycles are given separately. You may give them a cycle to go pick up litter, and then you may give them a cycle to go mow the property itself. So it just depends on what we're looking at during that period of time.
And our ambassadors don't engage in this type of service, litter pickup. This is like high traffic area.
We prefer to not have by the high traffic area, any
Yeah. dangerous
intersection, we
Right.
prefer to keep them safe.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I just think that is important since we're talking about litter and
And
we have
we
friends that help with that.
prefer to keep the staff Staff safe as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would imagine.
They're doing
And
a
then
good job.
Yeah. Then I had a question about it's the South District, Bruce R. Watkins Drive to Envision Lawn for $16,350 a cycle for 10 cycles. So, and it says 4 cycles are reimbursed by MoDOT. Breaking that out, then that's $1,600 each cycle. That one also was quite a bit higher than,
Right.
again,
Bruce,
just because of where that is right there.
Watkins, you
Yeah.
can go out there like almost daily. Once you pick that location up, clear, free of trash, you might have an accident. You might have people that just every day routinely use that route and they just toss trash out there.
I assume that is also a safety factor there on that being such a busy road, so, okay.
I'm like, we need some support with police and citations for littering. If people are just, I'm just saying,
No,
problem solving
No disagreement
around
here. No disagreement
how
here.
to mitigate so much money in litter and then lawn service. Okay.
You know,
And what makes it so that MoDOT agreed to reimburse for 4 cycles? What's that about?
MoDOT actually is responsible for that property. So we're working in association with them. So we do most of the bidding for them and they just fund that project.
So why are they only doing 4 if they're responsible for it?
That I do not know.
That's a you question.
Good question, and that was something that was brokered by the city manager's office that we've been trying to work through. I've been asking for more money. I've been asking for general fund money. It continues to fall on us for the most part, but that is a sore subject, and I've been trying to address it.
I have Stephanie, I have an officer I talked to here 2 weeks ago. She gave a $1,500 ticket for 3 pieces of trash thrown out the window.
That sounds like
I was proud of her. I told her, thank you, keep it
Yeah.
up. So,
You received that?
no, I'm not,
Yeah, you wouldn't be bragging about that one?
I'm an ecologist. I put everything in until I get somewhere, so, but,
It works.
and I thanked her and told her, please keep it up. I do agree, we need to start promoting littering tickets or fines and signs that we used to do back in the days. I don't know why, but we're not, but it would be nice. Sorry.
No,
Oh, you all
great
good.
point.
Appreciate the point.
So Director Cotton, when it says 4 cycles are reimbursed by MoDOT, is that MoDOT saying we'd be okay with it only being serviced 4 times in a year, and we're saying that, no, it needs to be done more than that, or they're just,
No, we're saying it needs to be done more than that. The city
Okay.
manager is very much about the trash being picked up on 71, keeping it groomed, keeping it looking really nice. So we're going above and beyond the 4 cycles that MoDOT says that we
Okay.
need to do.
that's helpful, thank you.
Good dialogue. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. All right, last one for you, Mr. Spears.
Oh, you all good.
Final items on the agenda are resolutions number 32503 through 32507, considering board approval of bid awards of ground maintenance services for enhanced parks. And Mr. Spears, I'll ask you to start, and I'll ask you to first tell me what enhanced parks means.
Enhance is, as you see on the addition of fertilizing, overseeding and aerification. And then, some of the other services, we just mainly mow and trim. In these areas, we do the whole shebang.
So these are just, Director Cotton, certain locations that we've designated need more than just a regular mowing cycle or something like that?
Very, very high traffic areas, high traffic parks, Ios Davis, Mill Creek, Brookside, Bruce Watkins, Culture Heritage Center, and Luce Park.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you,
All right,
Mr.
thank you.
Spears. Good to see you.
No problem, same here.
All right, Director Cotton, if you want to proceed with your director's update.
Thank you. Yes, March 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. is the KC exhibit at Buttonwood Art Space from 5 to 7 p.m. All sales benefit KC Parks and Rec. The City of Fountains Foundation assessment documents have been signed off on, and the study will be getting underway soon. Staff cleaned up illegal dumping at Lakewood Greenway, Mecklenburg Trailhead, Vineyard Park, Blue Valley Park, West Creek Park, Town Fork, and Swope Park. Houseless cleanup has taken place at Independence and Chestnut and Penn Valley Park. Fountains continue to be cleaned and prepared for the start of fountain season. Spring Valley shelter pad has been cleaned up. The Rangers informed 5 tent sites they needed to move along within 48 hours and met with another 41 houseless in various parks and visited 105 of the 221 parks last week. Houseless calls for the Rangers are beginning to increase substantially. 9th and Van Brunt turf installation is complete and the walkthrough is tomorrow morning. The 9th and Van Brunt project renovation project was approved in its entirety last Thursday. For the first time in a long time, forestry is fully staffed. Staff will be meeting with 3 different leagues about the possibility of bringing a new team to Satchel Paige Stadium to begin play in 2025. Staff met with the management team of the new Native American Chamber of Commerce to discuss Native American recreation possibilities. And Keller Cross been selected to do the property appraisal for the Plaza Tennis Courts.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up. When you said, you were saying Spring Hill, the park shelter that was on fire last week?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk about any additional information that we found out since then, and what is the refurbished plan?
We don't have any additional information. Fire did not do an arson investigation on that shelter. They released it back to us. We cleaned it up. Our next steps will be to get a structural engineer to study the columns, the brick or the rock columns that were made to make sure the heat didn't destroy those so that we can reuse them. Then once we have that information available, we'll start making plans to rebuild the shelter. But the first step is to get the existing rock, make sure that
See
we
what's
can
salvageable.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have an estimate of the timeline, and how will we communicate it to community? That is a pretty
It
well-used
is.
shelter, so what is our communication plan?
As of this time, right now, like I said, the next step is to get the columns studied to make sure they're safe, and then we'll go from there. We don't have anything further than that. It was just released to us at the end of last week.
Right. So that is 3rd District?
I believe so.
Okay, so I would like to ensure that we have a communication to 3rd District so that we can at least keep them abreast. Like I said, this is a well-used space, and we want our parks to be used, and this one certainly is. And so if we can just make sure we have a communication to the council persons that can be shared. I know that both have pretty frequent, they have a newsletter and in-person meetings, so if we can make sure that communication, I think that'll be a really great way to follow up with community.
Absolutely.
I've been going back and forth with Miss Teola Powell, who lives across the street. So.
Great. And so, Secretary Houston, will you do that? Who will that come from, the communication? Will that come from? Okay, and then it'll just be sent out. So I'll share a heads up that they should expect a communication. I don't know what the timeline is. I don't know where they're at with that, but thank you.
All right. We will now move into public hearing. Do we have any members of the public who wish to address the board at this time? All right. With that, I believe we need to go back into closed session.
Okay. I move that we move into closed session pursuant to section 610.021, subsection 1 of the revised statuses of Missouri to discuss. This would be around real estate.
Thank you.
Well, you want one and two. One is legal matters,
Okay.
litigation.
And subsection.
Subsection 2
Two.
real estate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Commissioner
seeing you.
Smith, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great to see you again.